Hi, Jay Zacharias, founder of TriathlonExperts.com. Tip number 15 is a real follow-on to tip 14, and I wanted to pick up on the race plan, particularly the nutrition race plan. It's amazing how many people out there don't come with a nutrition plan for the morning of the race and especially during the race. What it is that they're going to eat, how often, how they're going to fuel themselves. It's just kind of an ad hoc thing that they do, and it doesn't make any sense. It's one of the most common things after all the training you've done that will ruin your race day. Really, just is mismanagement of nutrition is one of the most common things to taking it out. It's not the lack of training, but it's the mismanagement of race nutrition. So let's get specific on this one. Just like I said in tip 14, what I would suggest is a detailed plan of what you're going to do. Keep in mind it's just a plan, and you want to go out and say, start off with maybe a line sheet of paper, or just type it out on your computer, however you want to do it, and start off with 15-minute increments from the time you're going to get up in the morning, and focus on what it is that you're going to eat and when. And then once you get to a race, the start of the race, obviously you're not going to take anything in during the swim, but are you going to do anything just before you start the swim? Are you going to take a gel in or anything close to the start of the race? And then once you get on the bike, when is it that you're going to start fueling there? Because you don't want to start too soon. I've seen lots of things out there. One of the most recent ones is Ironman Arizona, where guys eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich just starting out on the bike. You don't need calories like that at that point in the race. You want to get your system settled. So you want to make sure that you have a plan for what it is that you're going to do. Are you going to fuel mostly with gel on the bike? Or are you going to take in any bars? Are you going to do mostly some kind of electrolyte drink that has calories in it? However that's going to be, and how much of that you're going to do during the course of the hour, and how you're going to break it up. Meaning, if you're going to take in 300 calories an hour, are you looking to do it in 3 100-calorie increments, so some every 20 minutes as you're going through there? And you want to mix in how you're going to hydrate. Most hydration, depending on the temperature, you're going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 ounces every about 10-15 minutes, plus or minus a few fluid ounces. So you want to balance that based on the temperature and the heat. Cooler temperatures, you're going to consume less fluid. So you want to build that into your plan. That's why you carry the plan with you during the course of the week, because the weather, you might do something that's the perfect plan, but you want to adjust it based on the conditions that are going to be out there on race day, and also what you learn about the race course. Is it a hilly course? Are the aid stations set up in places that are going to be easy? I mean, you may or may not be able to know that. What are they serving on the course? How does that affect your race plan? But detail it out, and what you'll find is that it just makes things a little bit simpler, so that when things happen out there, and there's always seems to be something that happens, you'll be able to adjust more quickly because you had this plan. And what I also suggest in there is to say, well, what happens if things go badly? How do you adjust that? I'll give you an example. I was out in Ironman Coeur d'Alene a number of years ago, and I'm out on the bike 10-15 miles into it. I use a concentrated bottle of Carbo Pro a lot of times for food on the bike, 5-6 scoops in a 20-ounce bottle, so that I can get maybe 100 calories in a good mouthful of Carbo Pro fluid. So what happened was I went to take a drink out of the bottle, and the top popped off and the fluid went all over the place, and I had this sticky, god-awful stuff all over me and the bike and all that kind of stuff. Plus I had just lost all my main food calories for the first half of the Ironman bike, 112 miles. Now, if you're not familiar with Ironman, they have special needs stations halfway through the bike, halfway through the run, where you can stash some other things you want. I had another bottle of Carbo Pro, but I had to get to that point. So now I have to feed off of the aid stations, and I hadn't really trained to do that. I didn't have any backup plan. So what I do now is I carry a gel flask with me just in case. The other thing that can happen a lot, and why you want backup plans, is that sometimes on race day, for some reason, no one really knows, you just can't stand what it is that you planned on eating. So having an alternative can be a really important thing. So the point here is that set up a plan, put it down on paper so that you know exactly what you're going to do. Give yourself some backup ideas on how you'll fuel if things don't go right, or your bottles fly off your bike, or whatever happens out there. And what you'll have a much better ability to adjust to the conditions out there on race day. And more important, it won't be stressful if something happens. You'll be ready for it, and you'll have much more fun out there on the race course, and a much better race on race day.